speculation. You are go for launch.
Given our current culture of delays, it was probably baseless optimism to expect that Bethesda would once again pull a Fallout 4 and run a super tight marketing campaign for Redfall and for Starfield. But it seemed like the Fallout playbook was the only way to aptly market and ship these two titles in 2022. Well, as you all know, that idea went up in smoke alongside the post formally delaying both into 2023. That leaves one company in a pretty tenuous position, but it isn't Bethesda. No, Bethesda just got an injection of capital from Microsoft that puts this Star Wars acquisition to shame. They can eat a delay. Microsoft, though, who would have received these titles as its only major Xbox Series exclusives for 2022, can't comfortably do the same. Well, they can't according to most people. If you've been seeing the online discourse recently, you would know that everything appears to be really doom and gloom for Microsoft and Xbox at the moment. But I'm a bit less sure that this delay even matters. Frankly, the delay feels far more like an optical issue than a material one. Booting Halo Infinite from Xbox Series X's launch date, for instance, was a lot more materially devastating. Launching a system with ostensibly no exclusives of consequence matters a whole lot more than having a dry period 2 years in. Nonetheless, this certainly paints Microsoft in a position of supreme weakness, being outmaneuvered by both its hardware rivals. Nintendo's slate for 2022 has been, and will continue to be, incredibly potent. Sony's shipped their share of exclusives too, so even if God of War Ragnarok slips to next year alongside Starfield, and it likely will, then the company can still look to Horizon and Gran Turismo and celebrate. Oh, and they have Ghostwire Tokyo 2, the only Bethesda exclusive to ship this year, and on a Sony platform no less. The point is, this doesn't look good. It especially doesn't look good when Halo Infinite, the marquee Xbox title, can manage its content about as well as the Paramount show can manage series canon. At the same time, we've been hearing issues inside the Initiative, the studio making the upcoming Perfect Dark title. It would appear that there's a major production issue inside Xbox Game Studios. To make matters worse, there doesn't appear to be anything waiting to plug these gaps left by Bethesda. We've got Scorn, sure. We've got a smattering of other titles on the periphery, yeah, but we don't have anything that makes you go, wow, I need an Xbox for Christmas. Or I should say, we don't have anything that screams, wow, I need an Xbox for Christmas. See, Microsoft's great 2022 savior isn't going to be a big game announced at its June showcase. It'll be a continuation of what has secured the bulk of Xbox's goodwill already, its services. Is it possible that Machine Games comes from the top rope with Wolfenstein 3 for the holiday? Sure. It's even more possible that the long-rumored Gears of War collection materializes too. However, the potency of these titles lies exactly where the Bethesda problem appeared, in the headlines. Again, Xbox really only looks weak right now. Materially, they're golden. They've got Microsoft money and they're about to close the most unbelievable merger that this industry has ever seen. Whether you take the Activision deal as a positive or not, it's a major show of strength. Companies are reacting to Xbox's moves with acquisitions and services of their own. A weak platform doesn't motivate those in its orbit to recalibrate. Microsoft's pocketbook is keeping the Xbox brand agile and important. So, even though I'd cry tears of happiness if a new Wolfenstein materialized, one exclusive isn't going to move the needle much. All it'll do is satiate the pundits like myself who view the Starfield delay as an opportunity to engage in our favorite collective pastime, baseless speculation. See, if individual games motivated genuine platform health, then the Wii U wouldn't have died such a horrid death. I mean, it had Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, and it still failed. No, platforms find health and strength as a function of the vibrancy of their overall ecosystems. Obviously, a balanced release calendar of compelling exclusives is a cornerstone element of that. However, it's far from the only thing that matters. The ultimate goal is player retention. It's about getting people to turn on their Xboxes day after day, populating lobbies and spending money. You need Starfield if you want to be featured in the Game of the Year conversations. But you don't need Starfield in order for an Xbox Series X to quietly remain an essential holiday purchase. You just need to double down on what makes Xbox so powerful right now, which is the word I wrote 4 paragraphs ago: services. Microsoft needs to push Game Pass harder than they've ever pushed it before. They need to pull some strings early and get Modern Warfare 2 on Game Pass day one. They need to repeat the Tunic moment from earlier and court more indie darlings. They need to poach recent AAA offerings again like they did with Guardians of the Galaxy. The strength of Xbox truly is the strength of Game Pass and its ability to retain players week after week with new games that run the gamut from one-man operations to titles from multi-million-dollar studios. Because imagine for a moment that Starfield did release this November. Even in the week of its launch, it would be just one of probably 8 games coming to Game Pass. For better and worse, content volume has become Xbox's calling card, and you don't need Bethesda's biggest guns to achieve that. You can go back into the checkbook and leverage that capital to bring more exciting major releases to Game Pass and win the holiday with nothing more than the means to buy it. Is that as creatively enriching as having a tentpole exclusive? Obviously not. I want to see Xbox push the boundaries. They have so many incredible teams in the Xbox Game Studios family now. I want to see their ducks get in a row and pump out a constant string of inventive, important titles as the publisher did back in 2021. However, that isn't the only way that Xbox can win a year and retain its players. They can double down on Game Pass. Heck, they can go further and really blow the doors off xCloud. They can, and I would love this, call a do-over on backwards compatibility and add yet another wave of titles after all. That really is one of the absolute highest points of the Xbox ecosystem, and it's a shame that it ended so soon. But I digress. No other ecosystem can match Microsoft's talent for curating a play environment that is as open and as forward-thinking as Xbox Series S and X. Game Pass, xCloud, backwards compatibility. If there was ever a counterpoint to the importance of console exclusives, it would be these services. In a year without the former, it's time for Microsoft to prove that the latter are truly the future of gaming. I'm certainly not overly optimistic about Xbox's 2022, but these Bethesda delays aren't doom and gloom either. Stay tuned to Boss Level Gamer for more on Xbox, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to never miss an upload. Thanks for watching.